Hello and welcome to my YouTube channel. My name is Eliah. This is Vili. He's currently not in the frame. I might show you some footage of him a bit later. But yeah, we don't have any time to waste because I am on the clock because I already spent way too much time on this. And today I'm going to let the tarot decide whether I should start making YouTube videos. Because I originally started making a pros and cons list, but I don't know, it just seemed very boring. So I am going to do this the way that I usually decide things these days. There's already like a card that fell out. I'm gonna see. I haven't checked it yet. Maybe I should just look at that. Oh, there's 2 more cards that fell out. That's cool, because 3 is a good number. Okay, so the first card that fell out is the 8 of Pentacles, but I feel like it fell out reversed. So I'm just gonna read it reversed. And I'm using the 5th Spirit deck, or 5th Spirit Tarot by Charlie Claire Burgess, in case you're wondering. So I have the 8 of Pentacles, the Fool, actually, and the King of Swords. So I feel like I'm going to read this similarly to the Cross. So like, what's that called actually, like the different spreads, that's what it's called. So I'm kind of new to tarot. I think I've been learning for like a year and a half, and if I've done readings for other people or for myself, then I've usually, if I've done a spread, then I've done the cross, and it usually is like 4 cards, but never mind. So you don't need to know all of that. So I'm going to interpret the first card as kind of like, this is how the cards are understanding my question. This is kind of like the issue. So the 8 of Pentacles, but reverse. So if we're looking at the card before I'm opening the guidebook, it's like a bunch of tools. Yeah, a bunch of woodworking tools, I think. And as I said, it's reversed. The way that I usually interpret it when cards, when I pull cards reversed, so when they show up reversed, is that there's something about the meaning of the card that I'm kind of struggling with, or that I'm having a hard time interpreting. And sometimes once I read the actual interpretation of the card, it becomes clearer what the reverse of it actually might mean. But yeah, I don't know. At first sight, this is kind of, yeah, it feels like it fits. The query, the question, because starting YouTube is like learning a craft, kind of. It's about like, it's gonna be a lot of work, and maybe the question is something about the difficulty of like learning a new craft or something like that. But we're gonna see what the guidebook has to say on the 8 of Pentacles. Okay, apparently I pulled this card recently because there's some parts underlined, and I haven't started doing that until a couple of days ago or weeks ago. Okay, 8 of Pentacles. This card is about good old-fashioned hard work. When it shows up, become an apprentice to your own improvement. You have the ability to make something exceptional if you have the dedication to work for it. Whether in art, business, or your personal life, building anything truly worthwhile requires steady and patient effort. After all, masterpieces are not made overnight. If you're feeling stuck or uninspired, this card indicates seeking out new lessons or tutorials to stretch your skills and freshen your techniques. If you're cutting corners and expecting to make great work with little time or effort, this card is a reality check. Quality work takes, well, quality work. If you've been encountering obstacles, this card says that you can untangle them with patience, attention to detail, and elbow grace. Above all, this card says to just do the damn work and do it well. Whatever you're building deserves it. Okay, so I feel like this pretty much like encapsulates my struggle, or Yeah, because over the years, I've had so many ideas and attempts of making YouTube videos, but a lot of the time I wasn't really willing to put in the work, or maybe I was also lacking the resources. And what this card also kind of reminded me of is that there's already so many tools here. There's a lot to work with here. And the question is whether this, maybe the question is like, yeah, whether I want to do it. Yeah, I don't know. Okay. So the second card is the Fool. And, well, if that doesn't say a lot, like the Fool is about daring something, right? The Fool to me means be reckless, try something, just do the silly thing, try it, and don't worry too much about like what other people might think of you. So I don't know. Sometimes I'm just so astounded at how on point and spot on the cards are. I'm still going to read the full interpretation here. So, the Fool. The tarot begins with a card numbered 0, an egg-shaped circle signifying nothing but containing the possibility for everything. This is a true beginning, a blank slate full of unknown potential. This card is called the Fool because it represents a state of innocence, a perspective of optimism, and a trust in the journey, something that the cynical would call foolish. But it's the fool's naivete that allows them to imagine wild visionary futures, to achieve the impossible, to change known reality. In readings, this marks the start of a new chapter, or a moment when you're asked to take a leap of faith. Maybe there's something you want to do, but you're afraid to start. Maybe a change you want to make, but you're scared to take the risk. The Fool is here to remind you that every untrodden path has hazards and treasures, and you can't know what you'll find until you start walking. Don't be afraid of what you don't know. That is what's truly foolish. Have trust and take the leap. Well, all right. So in the beginning I said that I was going to read this similarly to the spread of the cross. And in the cross, it's like the middle part is the advice. So the Fool is the advice in this spread. And the third card is kind of what it leads to. So I got the King of Swords. And I mean, this is someone who's like, it looks very Sagittarian to me. Like it feels very Sagittarian, like this. Someone's on their like metaphorical soapbox. I don't know. This looks like someone leading a revolution. I don't know if that's what I'm gonna do with starting this YouTube channel, but it's whatever. I guess it's kind of what I want to do. It's kind of part of the reason why I've been wanting to make YouTube videos is because I want to have a platform and give myself the chance to share my thoughts and my perspective with other people and connect over those shared ideas and interests and build on that together and like build community in a way. That's what I've used the internet for. That's the best thing the internet does, that it's able to facilitate community building in a way that we wouldn't be able to if we didn't have the internet. Yeah, so this spread, I feel like this spread is telling me to... Okay, but first I'm just gonna read what the King of Swords does, or like what a guidebook has to say about the King of Swords. The King of Swords, the speaker of truth and upholder of justice. This king is the witness and the judge, the activist and the organizer, the journalist and the whistleblower. When they speak, write, or act, they do it with foresight, integrity, and intelligence. They can be a diplomat or an agitator, depending on the needs of the highest good. Their insight is unrivaled, and their tongue is their sword. In readings, this king asks you to step into your personal responsibility in matters of honesty and action. Use your discernment to figure out the truth of the matter and then do something about it. Use your voice or your authority to uphold what's right, to fight for it, petition it, amplify it. And while you're standing up to power, watch out for becoming controlling or authoritarian yourself. Although reason is called for, true intelligence is knowing that truth is not solely rational, but emotional too. In all cases, this card requires an analytical eye and a calm head, calling you always into the service of truth with integrity. Okay, so to pull it together, we started out with the Eight of Pentacles reversed. So I think now that I'm thinking about it, so the Eight of Pentacles is this card that's about putting in like hard work, and like building anything truly worthwhile requires steady and patient effort. And I think maybe the reverse aspect of it was that there's a part of me that, and I think that's kind of what showed up in my pros and cons list of like reasons that I want to start making YouTube videos and reasons why I might not want to start making YouTube videos. And like the through line of the con reasons was that I'm scared that what I have to say isn't important, that I'm scared that I will disappoint myself, that it won't be worthwhile watching, that it won't add value to the world, I guess. So yeah, so I think maybe it's about putting in hard work, but maybe I've been having a hard time putting in that hard work or committing to it and really putting in that hard work because I was scared to really give it my all, because that would mean making myself vulnerable. Like if I were to actually say, this is a worthwhile cause. This is not just like, oh no, I'm just gonna do this silly fun thing, because like the origin of my wanting to do this is because I've always, like when I was a child, I always dreamed of being in positions where people would listen to me, because I thought that I had important observations and like thoughts about the world. And that's also, I think, what I experience in my relationships. I'm like, I'm very Sag heavy. I'm like very soapbox. I'm like very, I believe these things about the world and this is how things should go. But that also means that like I can be wrong. Like I've been wrong so many times, like, and that's like part of actually my belief system now, that like I should be able to be wrong. Like being wrong isn't bad, because it means that like I'm actually acknowledging that I don't know everything. And there's no way for me to know everything, but that doesn't mean that just because I don't know everything, I can't have an opinion, or I can't have like, yeah, convictions. And I think that's yeah, so okay, we're moving on. So okay, this is the should I put in the hard work, and like this kind of struggle to commit to it because maybe I wasn't actually, yeah, because I was like worried that it might not be a worthwhile thing. And like the thing is, if I'm not like super committed or thinking that it's worthwhile, then it's also harder to deal with the struggle of starting something new. Then it's also like if I don't really believe in what I'm doing, then it's harder to deal with the being bad at it, with looking foolish. Because if I don't believe in myself, if I don't believe in what I'm doing, then I'm constantly looking to other people to validate me because I don't actually believe in myself. But I'm gonna make a fool out of myself because I'm new at this. I'm gonna be bad at it. And I have to believe in myself enough to not rely on outside validation, because this is about speaking my truth. It's about speaking my truth. It's about saying what I believe in. It's about fighting for something and speaking, truth to power, but also like being open. What I was saying was this, like, I can't ever know everything. So I have to speak from what I know or what I feel. And I think that's the important part, that like knowledge is important, learning new perspectives is important, but like facts and knowledge or like rational thinking, that's only one part of truth. because the other part of truth is how you feel about it, how it sits in my body, the way that certain truths fill you up and make you want to go out and fight for it. So yeah, I think what this is basically telling me is that I have to commit to this, and that makes it vulnerable, and that means that the advice is go make a fool out of yourself. Go say things with your chest and allow yourself to look back on it a few weeks afterwards, a year afterwards, and feel regret because you've grown since then, because you've learned and changed your mind based on the information that you were presented with. I guess, yeah, like I think there's always like a balance of pros and cons, right? That the internet has this huge benefit, or like this huge potential of reaching people you otherwise wouldn't be able to reach, and to express yourself in ways that even like just my parents when they were my age couldn't even fathom. But the downside of that is also with that opportunity, with that potential, comes a lot of negative potential, or like potential downsides, right? It's all the negative aspects of the social internet, the permanence of it all. It's how social media and like the way, like how much we've learned in terms of also political education, and when it comes to learning about marginalized perspectives and discrimination and power and violent systems, and yeah, social change. We've learned so much, but we started also turning against each other, and like kind of turning that knowledge and that learning against each other, because I don't know, the internet, the internet is just a technology, and we have to infuse that technology with what we want to put out there. I don't know, I'm going off on a tangent, but I think this feels good. I am excited to start this, and I will have to put a lot of work into this because I believe in myself. I believe that I have things to say, and maybe this turns out to not be my platform, but whatever it is, I'm going to figure it out, because the Fool is here to remind you that every untrodden path has hazards and treasures, and you can't know what you'll find until you start walking. So don't be afraid of what you don't know. That is what's truly foolish. Have trust and take the leap. So I'm going to take the leap, and I'll see you in the next one. Have a nice day. Thanks for watching. Goodbye. Rückenkratzen geht nicht so gut mit dem Mantel, oder? Na komm, jetzt gehen wir weiter.